If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. Yeah. That's how we feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. You wouldn't need it if you knew what we overcome. Do you know all the we gotta overcome? But they ain't stopping nothing. Me and my girls on top, straight stunting. And we abide by a real strict code. Hands off my ex and homies over. If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. We play, I wait, I'd rather be me. Do work, all day, we don't see defeat. You be fly that, can we buy that? We even run the full court, make it stack. Shout out to Maya Moore, the young guard, to all the girls like us, yeah, we go hard. See, this is how it feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. So proud of that we overcome. Do you know we gotta overcome? We bow down to none. I wanna hail out on my...
Back now in Los Angeles. What a terrific return here for the Rams. A wild card berth, but the visiting Redskins with a field goal try coming that would effectively end this storybook season. From 39 yards out, Dustin Hopkins. Oh, wait, whistles here. The kick actually went through, but I think a timeout was called.
And you can see Jeff Fisher right there talking to the officials, telling them that I came out and called a timeout, hoping for another playoff miracle.
You're hoping for one indeed. He called that timeout.
Hey, listen up. This is a real good place to be right now. We can take it over. Let's shift it and put the pressure on there.
So now all eyes back on the fourth-year man Hopkins. He did miss one earlier from 42.
Miss another one. Here we go. You're going to miss it. Miss it.
From 39. Oh! Quinn over the top, and he blocks it. And the Rams fall on the football.
Dang, man. Come on. This way. Let's go, Trees. That's big time, man. Let's
So
go.
now everything changes. The Rams are back in business. And here comes the rookie quarterback, Jared Goff.
All right, guys, this is our time. Let's finish this thing right here. Let's finish it. One play at a time. Run it down their throat. O-line, let's go. Right here. Let's go, man. Just give me the ball.
3 minutes to play. The Rams come up. Welcome to Madden NFL 17. Before we hit the gridiron, let's take a look at a few options. First up, very simple. Select your favorite team.
Everybody needs somebody, no doubt. Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul right now. Give me what you got.
If you're new to Madden, we recommend starting on either rookie or pro difficulty. Brandon Gaudin here to tell you about what's new in gameplay for Madden NFL 17. This year, the team focused heavily on 3 specific areas: the ground game, zone defense, and special teams. We have overhauled ball carrier locomotion, momentum, and balance. The special move system has been completely rewritten around a new defender fake-out system. We've added new feedback systems and an auto move setting on rookie and pro difficulty levels to help users master the new. And just like that, you're set. It's time to play, and we hope you enjoy it. Madden NFL 17.
sliding down the last street as the day creeps. What you doing with nobody at home? Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul, come on. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care where we're dancing tonight, just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I'll be waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last touch. Give me what you got, oh, 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 oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care where we're dancing tonight, just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Carr's Raiders. With that, we'll get you out to Oakland. So we'll hand it over to our colleagues, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, after an off-season of questions, football is back here in the East Bay at Oakland, California. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, as we get set for our matchup tonight, we saw the quarterback comparison at the outset. We get to watch a couple of good ones here, don't we?
And it's a dramatic scene, isn't it? Whenever you get a night game, things are just a little bit more heightened with a little bit more spotlight, and we get to see two good guys go at it here.
The big left foot of Sebastian Janikowski ready to get us started. And off we go from Oakland. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. Give him 22 on that one. And it'll give the Falcons a first down.
And Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated in 2016 in Atlanta. The most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really a nice compliment to Julio Jones, and he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because of his versatility. He can play
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Here we go. Red 18. Set. Red 18.
Now after the INT, it's Carr sliding out of the pocket. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, 72 yards. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And heading out for another drive, the Raiders defense. Now the interception for them the last time, and that turned into 6 points.
You think during their break they reminded the offense that, hey, we helped you guys out a little bit, right? You know, they want to see if they can do it again for them. They're putting together an entire team game by how they're playing on defense.
So the interception the last drive, what will happen here? And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They come out here in the eye. Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
And now a first down following that long gain. On first down, Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Again on second and 10, it's Ryan. Caught by Sanu. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
They go play action here on first down. He completes it to Julio Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Over 1,400 yards last year for Jones. Just 6 touchdowns, but, you know, of course he had the big 300-yard game. However, when he was blanketed with coverage, he always opens things up for other guys, doesn't he?
He does, and that's what's benefited Atlanta's offense. Other guys were able to step up. In 2016, Mohamed Sanu stepped up and had his best year as a pro. Austin Hooper, as a young tight end, really developed down the stretch. And Taylor Gabriel, who had come over as a free agent from Cleveland, he really flourished, actually led the team in touchdown catches. But there's only one Julio Jones, and you want to get the ball to him as much as possible. After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Second and 10, it's Ryan again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And as a defender, if you come up with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that. But to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Now a play fake here on first down. Now he's going to throw deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And they'll get him down up past the 15. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Murray had the 1,000-yard season in 2015, followed that up with 788 last year. Now, also in the mix in Oakland, you had Washington, you had Richard. How do you see this backfield playing out going forward?
I think you'll see a similar combination going forward. I think that's one of the reasons that he dropped from a 1,000-yard runner to 788, because they had other options. They're able to bring in Washington, Richard. They can.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, 83 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the first quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway, essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down, because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. And a great spot to start this drive from here.
We ready?
Throwing on first down is Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
Looking for Cooper, and now nothing but green ahead of him. Picked off by Robert Alford. 20, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be taken about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They come out with one back and three tight ends. Trying to shake off and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. They go play action for Murray. Now Carr rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They come out here in the eye. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. He'll buy some time right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for the Raiders. 54 yards.
All right, here we go.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Out to his left. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. This is Jalen Richard, and he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run, and the Raiders add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They'll come up now with the clock showing 3 seconds to go here in the first. They go play action here on first down. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked up by the forward. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now after the INT, it's Carr. This one caught left side by Cooper. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to deep.
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Latavius Murray, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams. Thinking the young quarterback going and that defense continues to live up to expectations, they can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. On 3rd down, Ryan being chased out left. And incomplete here on 3rd down. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. And that brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game. But you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. All right, there's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he is going to lose yardage here. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
The line of scrimmage is the 3 as they look to cash in on 3rd and goal. They come out here in the I. 3rd and goal now. Maybe the offensive coordinator thinking blitz here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
They might think about going for it here, but it's still just the 2nd quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
All right, here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
Carr going to go on 4th down. That's caught at the 1. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more, and, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Janikowski on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot. But there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and even before we get to the draft, you start with the Combine. You know, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. You get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Now Ryan, he's going to go for a big, and that's caught inside the 35. Mohamed Sanu with nobody ahead of him. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Again, Ryan. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Throwing again, Ryan. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's third down. They come out here in the eye. On third and goal, Ryan. That's caught at the 3. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Falcons defense gearing up as they take the field. And they were back in the red zone last time defensively, but they were able to get that fourth down stop.
Gave up no points in a situation where you expect at least 3 to go on the board. I have a feeling that after that stop, maybe a few taunts went across the way that said, maybe next time, guys, you might want to kick it.
We'll see if they can get another stop on this drive. Carr now on first down. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And he'll bang that one through. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. They come up in an offset eye. On third down, Ryan. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Looks like Ryan's going to stay out there. Indeed, they're going to try for this on 4th down.
Ready, back 25.
They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there's a time to be aggressive, now was it. Because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one. And look.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders are pouring it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Oh, well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's
you know
go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Ryan. And now another one thrown incomplete.
The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with. Because now, when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man coverage in many cases. And on this particular play, able to see the play in front of him, react to it, and knock the ball away. Gotta like what you just saw there, if you like zone defense.
Here's Ryan. And this is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations. On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
We ready? Red 18.
Carr will try it again on second down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
All right, here we go. Red 18. Oh, baby, alert, alert.
On third and long, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, Tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Sliding out of the pocket. And this is taken in at the 5. That'll be a pickup of 29 yards there. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. Well, go ahead and mark that down as one of the most bizarre 1st down calls in the history of the National Football League. A fake, and it backfires.
Well, we've seen a lot
on 1st down.
Yeah, you're right. And we've seen a lot of innovation throughout the years in the NFL. I mean, we've gone from the single wing to the T4.
And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see in the postgame. We're ready to get to the 3rd quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. They're losing here as we begin the 3rd quarter, trying to stop this from being a bigger deficit.
I used to play for a coach who always talked about getting the other team's attention. And in this case, they want to let them know that you're going to do the dictating from here on out, not the other way around.
Trying to impose their will as we start the 3rd. They've got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Zebra! Hello, baby, alert! Alert! All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
They come out here in the eye. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a 2nd time.
Janikowski now for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here now come the Falcons. Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. All right, different topic here. 2018, the Super Bowl, traveling north, far north to Minneapolis. Early predictions for that one. Who you got?
Well, you know, everyone's still waiting in the NFL for a home team to play in its home stadium, right? So could the Vikings be that team? I'll start in the NFC, and I'm going to say no. I think Seattle. Starting to get near that maybe last run with their defense. But Earl Thomas returns. I like Seattle coming out of the NFC. How about you?
Well, I'm actually going to take a Dallas Cowboys NFC title run. I think that they came so close this year, probably most talented going into next year.
I like that one. Well, in the AFC, I'm going to go with a team that if they improve their defense and their quarterback stays healthy, they could be that team, the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, I'm going dark horse. Cleveland Browns. Let's go.
Hey, from worst to first. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here's Ryan. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Jacob Tamme, there. And now it's second down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. On third down, Ryan. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, Brandon, this is a former first-round pick, and he's been a bit of a disappointment in his career up till now. But he's still got room to grow. And this is an excellent play right here to come away with the football.
So out come the Raiders. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
They go play action for Murray. Now Carr rolling to his right. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds him. 23 yards on the play. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Vic Beasley in there to drop him. And sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Carr now to throw. And he couldn't corral it. It falls down incomplete, but maybe not a big deal given this big lead.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Pulled in at the 24. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by the former Eagle, Nate Allen. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern, maybe some ball.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, 48 yards. And a forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Janikowski on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They come up in an offset eye. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot, and that's exactly.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
On second down, Ryan. And it's complete to Jacob Tamme. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 14 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Here's Ryan. And that's caught by Tammy. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Ryan now off the bootleg. Connects with Sanu right side. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Second and 10 now. Ryan. This will be caught just inside the 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now a play fake here. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's second down. On second down, here's Ryan. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Now, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And Tammy with it over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just dropped to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Here's Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that? And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
It's caught, left side, Tammy. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now Ryan on second down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Ryan now to throw on third down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the former Eagle Nate Allen. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Carr, they'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And now here's another interception. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They come up in an offset eye. On second down, Ryan. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. To throw again is Ryan. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
All right, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. And Cooper's got a big game going. That's complete again. A good pickup there, a 22.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Red 18! Red 18!
Throwing on first down is Carr. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Holding offense.
And this will probably be the last play they can squeeze in here before the 2-minute warning.
Defense always has to be careful in this situation. A lot of teams like to take a shot.
To throw is Carr. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Carr going to look to throw. That's caught at the 2. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game? And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former Eagle, Nate Allen. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception. navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. A look now at the Oakland defense as they get ready. They come out here in the eye. Back to the air, Ryan after the pick six. And my goodness, another interception. And he's got room. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And now here come the Raiders. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to... This is caught inside the 15. A good pick up there, 26 yards. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Carr going to throw here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Janikowski now for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Let's just be frank. they're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. They go back to the air here after the INT. And Jones has it over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Now Ryan on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. He connected on his first, this from 41. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.